Hey guys, so I want to share a little video about a couple months ago, a vision that God showed me a couple months ago when uh he was talking to me about a certain situation, right? And so in this vision, I was in the street, and I want to say this before I start the what God was showing me, right? And so I want to say this: the more you around a person, or the more you around a certain individual or anything like that, the more you're going to start to understand them, the more you're going to start to understand who they are as a person and what they mean and just everything about that person. That's the same with the spirit. The more you encounter God, the more you're going to start encountering who he is, right? And God is a person. He has a mind, he has a will, you know, and he created every human being. He created all his creatures with the mind and with the will. Now, you can have your own will, or you can do his will, what he created you to do, right? So, but back to my vision. So a couple months ago, about 6 months ago, you know, God gave me this vision, right? And in this vision, it started out, I was on the street, and I was walking down the street. It was dark. It had street lights, right? And I started to one person on the street, just walking, right? And out of nowhere, I just started casting out demons in this person, right? And as I was casting out demons, you know, this big old bright white light, right? This big old bright white light started to shine on this person and shine in this area, right? And as I was casting out this demon, right, I looked up in the sky, and there was this huge dragon. Y'all, this dragon was huge. Like, this dragon covered the whole earth, right? And a person who ain't spiritual, they won't understand this. They don't understand it, right? And it's like this: being in the spirit it's the spirit and the physical is kind of connected with each other. It's kind of connected with each other. The spirit realm and the physical realm is kind of connected with each other, right? Because what happens in the spirit happens in the physical, and what happens in the physical happens in the spiritual. So I'm on earth, right? And it's this big dragon. And y'all, this dragon is massive. This dragon is massive, right? And it's like you can see this dragon, but it's like a kind of clear apparition, right? But this thing, you can see this thing is in the sky. This dragon is in the sky, right? And this thing is massive, and it's gliding throughout it's gliding real slow, right? And the sky is dark, and this dragon is like, it's like it was like a red type. The way I can describe it, it was like a orangish reddish type, and it was like an apparition of it. But this thing was huge, and it was gliding all over this earth, all over the earth. All right, this dragon was gliding all over the earth, right? And so in this vision, the vision starts to transition, right? Still dark, same vision, is dark. I end up in this party, right, with a whole bunch of people. And these people just partying. They don't know what's going on. Like, a lot of people in the world, they really just don't understand nothing about the spirit realm. They don't understand about life. They don't know what life is, right? 99% of people, you can ask them, what do you think the purpose to life is? Everybody gonna give you a different answer. If they're not spiritual, they will all give you a different answer. But the answer to this is, we are all here to serve God Almighty, Jesus. We all here. That's the reason we are all here. That is the reason. We have our side duties, we have work and all that, but the main reason we're here is to worship God. God created a man in his own image for his own glory, right? So I'm in this party, and it's a whole bunch of people in this party, right? I'm in this building. I'm in this party. It's like a house, right? And as I'm walking, I walk into like the middle of the room, and this one person start to look at me, right? And she starts shaking. She just starts shaking. She starts twitching, right? Her body just starts shaking, start twitching. And I start casting out demons out of this person. And everybody in this room starts to look at me, right? Start looking at what I'm doing. And as I'm casting out demons in this person, another beam of white light started to shine on this person, right? And it started to shine in that area. Because the whole area is dark, right? But the whole area is dark around here. It's like a spiritual darkness to this place. It's like a spiritual. The whole place is dark, and once I cast out demons in this woman or this person, a bright beam of light started to shine on this person and started to shine in this area. And so in this party, as I was in this party, I started going to different areas of the room, right? And I started casting out demons in this person, started casting out demons in that person, started casting out demons in that person. And as I'm casting out demons, the same bright light started to shine on this person, started to shine on that person, and started to shine in that area. And it was moving, right? And that bright light was the Spirit of God. It was the Holy Spirit, was the Spirit of God, right? And so as I'm doing this, people are looking at me. They don't know what's going on, right? I'm casting out demons. This person is falling on the ground. This person is twitching, foaming out the mouth. All this stuff is happening, right? In my vision. And this vision happened to me about 5-6 months ago, right? Because that's how God would speak to me. He would speak to me in my visions and in my dreams, right? And so I'm in this party or in this place, but it's like a party, right? And all these people, they coming up to this girl, to this woman, whoever I was casting these demons out. They were like, "Are you okay? Like, what's wrong? What's going on? Like, they in awe. They're like, what's happening? Like, are you okay?" They're asking this person, "Are you okay?" But they don't understand it's a spiritual battle going on every single day that we can't see. We can't see it. We ignorant. The humans are ignorant. That's how the demons see us. Humans are stupid humans. That's how the demons see us. The demons, listen, y'all have to understand that the demons and the fallen angels have a superior knowledge than we do. A lot of these demons and these fallen angels, they speak some truth and they speak some lies, right? And these demons, a lot of these demons and angels, they know the future, right? A lot of these demons and angels, they know the future, right? So in this vision, as I'm casting out demons in this place and stuff, these people are asking, they're like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Are you okay?" And the dream in my vision, it transitioned again, right? And I'm in this, I go to a baseball field, right? And somehow I ended up in the middle of this baseball field. I don't even know how I got there. And it was this person standing in the middle of this baseball field, right? And it was like hundreds of people in the stands, hundreds of people, right? And I'm trying to cast out demons in this one person, right? And it's like nothing is working. This demon is not coming out of this person, right? This demon is not coming out of this person. And I'm trying, and I'm trying, and I'm trying, and I'm trying. And these demons are not coming out of this person. I want y'all to understand this. A lot of times, demons work in groups. Sometimes you would never really see just one demon inside of a person. Sometimes it will be just one demon. But these demons work in groups. They work in packs. They work in legions, right? And a legion is 1,000 demons. At least 1,000 demons. That's a legion, right? And so, as I'm trying to cast out a demon in this person on this baseball field with hundreds of people, right? Hundreds of people in the stands, right? They looking at me, or they're looking at where we are, and nothing is happening, right? Nothing is happening. This demon is not coming out of this person, right? Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening, right? And so I couldn't cast this demon out. So out of nowhere, I don't even know how it happened, right? This big old white creature, right? This creature was huge. It was white as snow. This creature was huge, but it was like white as snow, and it had wings on it. And it's kind of like a horse, but it's not a horse. It's kind of the way I can kind of picture it is like a horse that's flying, right? But it's not a horse at all. This creature is not a horse at all. This thing it's like fat. It's huge. It's fat. This thing is huge, right? And it's fat, and it got wings on it, and it's white as snow. And I get on this creature. And this creature starts to take me into the sky. And it started to take me to different parts of the earth, right? And as I'm riding this creature, it dropped me off in an area, right? And I would be here casting out demons in this area, casting out demons in this area, casting out demons in this area, right? And then I get back on this big old white creature, right? And the best way I can explain this thing, this creature was huge, kind of like a horse, but way bigger than a horse. Like this thing was like huge, right? But nowhere near close to big as that dragon. It was nowhere close to big as that dragon, right? But it was big. And so I get on this white creature, right? This thing is white as snow. And its fur, it's white. It's just white as snow, right? And I'm on this creature, and this creature is taking me to different parts of the earth, right? And I'm casting out demons, on this part of the earth, casting out demons on this part of the earth, casting out demons on this part of the earth. And, the thing that I want people to know is that we live in a world that we don't truly understand. Us as humans, we live in a world that we truly don't understand. Everything that you see in the natural is more than just natural. It's more than just the natural, right? And so you have to really rewire your mind. If you haven't had any of these type of encounters, because a lot of people haven't, a lot of people just on the basic Christianity. They go to church, they go home, they don't fast, they don't seek the face of God, right? And as I was doing all these things, God was showing me all different types. I've had so many different spiritual encounters with God and with the Spirit of God, and how He would show me different types of things. He would show me how these demons operate. He would show me, how these demons would influence people to do evil, right? And so this is the thing about it. Every human being has a will. And that's why I want to tell people these demons are very powerful creatures. Demons and fallen angels, because y'all have to understand there's a distinction between a demon and a fallen angel. There's a difference between demons and fallen angels. The fallen angels made it with the human women, and they had children of their own. And like I want to tell y'all another thing. When if you ever saw these movies like Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings, these creatures look like that. It's real. These demons look like that. These demons have a body like a human, and they can have a face of an ox, a face of a man, a face of a woman, a face of a horse, a face of a goat. This is really how these creatures look. These are spiritual creatures. If you saw these creatures, you'll be like, oh my God, what? You will be so confused about life. You will be so confused. The spirit realm is more real. Even the Bible said that the spirit realm is more real than this physical. Once you die, you're going to start seeing things you've never seen in your life. You will start seeing things, because once your soul leave your body, you in eternity. You in the spirit realm. You're not in y'all have to understand, this is what these demons and these demons and these fallen angels and the angels, the holy angels, they live in the spirit realm. They live in the spirit realm. And it's a connection between the spirit realm and the physical. And a lot of things that's in the physical, the animals that's in the physical, are completely different in the spiritual realm. And this is another thing that I want to teach y'all. It's so different. These animals and these creatures are real. It's not made up, y'all. When these people make these movies about these demons with like one head with a dragon, that is really how these creatures look in the spirit realm. And y'all have to understand, these demons can transform. These demons can transform themselves into different types of creatures, right? So y'all don't understand, the spirit realm is deep. These spiritual creatures can transform themselves to look like humans. They can transform themselves to look like these demons that you see in like the Harry Potter movies, or the Lord of the Rings, or any type of witchcraft movie that you see. That is really how these creatures look. That's really how these creatures look, right? And so you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware of what's going on around you, right? Because the Bible says we're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're fighting against principalities, spirits and things in high places. These spirits are very intelligent. These spirits are more intelligent than us. These demons and these spirits they know things that we don't know. They know our ancestors. Y'all have to understand this. These demons and these angels was created thousands of years before we was created, before God created the humans and created us, the human race. All right. These angels was here before the earth or the human race was created. So these angels have a knowledge and a wisdom and a power that we don't have. And y'all have to understand, once we have the thoughts that we have, people may think that your thoughts are your own. But once you have an evil thought, that's an evil demon in your mind. That's a spirit. That's a spirit that's in your mind. An evil thought that pop up is a spirit in your mind. You may think that it's you, but it's a spirit that's influencing your behavior. And people don't understand. People don't understand this because the spirit realm is so different than the natural. People look at the physical as it's just being physical, but it's not like that. Because once your spiritual eyes become open, it will change your life. I promise you. I tell everybody this. Once you've encountered Jesus, once you've encountered God, you will never look at life the same way. It is impossible for anyone to preach who has never encountered God or the spiritual realm and look at life the same way. King Solomon was the wisest man to ever live, and he failed. King Solomon was a great and the wisest man to ever live. He knew things about these demons. God gave him power over every spirit, over every wicked spirit, over every demon. He had power over all spirits. And people just go living their life, go to work, come home. They don't pray. They don't really fast. They don't seek the face of God. And I promise you, any believer who really wants these spiritual gifts can have them. God wants you to have them. But God is a gentleman. He's not going to force his will on anyone. You have to want it for yourself, right? But God also has his chosen, the ones that he's chosen to go out into the world and to spread the gospel and to cast out demons. He has all his chosen prophets and his people like that, right? And so when God would speak to me in those type of dreams and those type of visions, the more he spoke to me was the more I started to understand things, the more I started to not look at life naturally, but to look at it supernatural and to look at it spiritually, because people don't understand. All of this, everything is spiritual. All this stuff was created from the spirit. You, as a human being, you are a spirit. You are a spirit. Your body is nothing. The spirit, the Bible says the spirit without the body is dead. People glorify these bodies, these fallen bodies, more than they glorify God or their spirit. And it's deep. And I want to teach people more about the spirit realm and the spirit world, the world that they can't see, because God has blessed me to know how to have a knowledge. I asked God. I asked him, and I prayed this years ago, to give me a knowledge like King Solomon, to give me knowledge like Moses, to give me wisdom and knowledge like all these people, right? I asked God for all this type of knowledge, right? And he hit me with this. He hit me with it hard, right? And the more you clear your mind, and you build your relationship with Jesus, you build your relationship with God, God will start showing you. He will show you spiritual things, right? That's why people don't, us as people in America, I feel sorry for the church in America. Some of them, not all of them, but the majority, like the T.D. Jakes and the Joel Osteens, the Creflo Dollars, the Benny Hanns, all these people who don't have no real power, have not really encountered the spirit realm, right? And this stuff is deep, right? And so once you have really had an encounter with Jesus, with God, you can never look at life the same way. Everything around you is spiritual. Everything around you is spiritual, right? And the life that we live in is counterfeit. Is a person who not spiritual not gonna understand it. But our life right now is counterfeit. All this life is a test to see if you want Jesus or not, and it's hard. All this life is a test to see if you want God or you don't, and God already knows. He knows everything before He creates it. And this thing about it, you cannot try to put your will on God's will. God is a person. God is a spirit. He's a person. And a person is something that has a will, has emotions. And that's what a person is. A person is someone that has will, it has a will and it has emotion that's what it is. It has a will and it has an emotion. And people will see, as a person as being a human being. It's not just a human being. Now, there's persons. The angels are persons. Angels are people. They are not humans. Angels are a different species, but they are persons. And it gets deep. It really gets deep. And I want y'all to stop, to not look at life from a natural perspective, but you gotta look at life from a spiritual perspective. Y'all gotta, man, people, they don't understand the spirit realm. And that's what I was called to do, to teach all about the spirit realm, to teach all how to live this life, to teach all about the spirit realm, and to teach all about these demons, right? These demons and these fallen angels. And it's not a game. And it can get this walk with God gets very overwhelming. It can get very difficult. It can get very hectic. That's why you need to get a place, be alone. Some people need to. Everybody. One thing about the human race, we always want somebody around. We always want a friend. There's nothing wrong with having a friend. But sometimes you need to be alone, just with you and God. Go somewhere quiet, pray, meditate to the Father, fast, really talk to Him, really pray to Him, really fast, really seek Him. And you will have all these spiritual encounters to happen to you like it did to me. I really prayed and fasted, and I wanted this thing. And I started, once God revealed Himself to me, I can never look at life the same. I can't. And I always say this in my older videos. If this stuff was not real, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be telling people about this. I would not do it. If none of this was real, I wouldn't be doing it. Right? I'd be in Miami on the beach somewhere with a woman with something in my hand. But I want God more. I want Jesus more than I want anything a part of this world. I want Him more than anything of this world. And I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's very difficult, because you're not going against just the devil, and you're not going to just get Satan, but you're fighting against yourself. You're fighting against the flesh, because the Apostle Paul said this. The flesh is the carnal mind is at enmity with God. The carnal mind can't subject itself to God. That's why you got to submit. You got to submit yourself. That's why Jesus said, if any man decides to come after me, let him deny himself and pick up his cross. Deny himself. Deny your flesh, because the flesh don't want what God wants. You know what I'm saying? The flesh, the body, doesn't want the things of God, doesn't want the things of the spirit. And that's why He gives you an example of what the carnal mind is. The carnal mind is the carnal things. The carnal mind is the sex before marriage. The carnal mind is the getting drunk. The carnal mind is the going to party. The carnal mind is all these things. That's the carnal mind. But once you become spiritual, and the Bible says renew your mind, and you start to pray, you start to fast, you see life different. You will see life different, right? And so I'm very blessed. I'm blessed beyond blessed to have seen and felt the spirit realm. And the spirit realm is nothing like the physical, and people, they just live in life, man. They just live in life. They just going through the motions, not knowing why they here. These people are dying, going to hell, not having Jesus. Not having Jesus, man. These people are dying, going to hell, not having Jesus. And I hate it. And that's why I always say this. Every time I see a child born, I feel sorrow in my soul. Every time I see a newborn baby born, I feel sorrow in my soul. It makes me want to cry every time I see a newborn baby born into this life, because as soon as that baby is in the womb developing, it's born into a warfare. It's born into war. Every single human, all of us are in war right now. Some people are ignorant to it. And it's not just a physical war with us and other countries, but it's a spiritual war. All of this is spiritual. All of this is spiritual. Everything. So that's why I say, I don't want, me personally, when I was in the world and I was carnal and I didn't know God, I would always pray to God. I would be like, God, I want this type of woman, God. I want, to have these many types of children and things like that. But once God expanded my knowledge and gave me wisdom about what life was really about, I completely changed. Because even the Apostle Paul said, not to even look at a woman, don't even touch a woman. It would be better not to even have kids. The Apostle Paul didn't have kids. He gave his life completely to Jesus, to God. And, I'm not telling people that it's evil to have kids. It's not an evil thing. It's just they going to suffer. That your children will suffer. If God himself didn't tell you to have children, your children will suffer. And I think about that. If I had kids that God didn't tell me to have, my children would suffer. Like, nothing going against anybody who want kids. If you want kids, that's a blessing. That's great. You have kids. That's a blessing. That's a great, wonderful thing. But me being spiritual, knowing the truth to life, knowing that all these kids that I see, they growing up homosexual, they growing up gay, they growing up bound. Satan has these children, and he is taking these children to hell. I see things that the normal person can't see. And people hate me because they're not spiritual. These prophets, they understand it. These preachers, a lot of these preachers and stuff that I talk to that's prophets, and they understand the spirit realm. They come to me and they're like, Jay, I understand exactly what you're saying. And, a lot of the stuff you say is true. I believe it. And, so I just want to come on here and share a little story about that, and just to teach out some more stuff about the spirit realm and how real this stuff is, how real witchcraft is, how real this stuff is, y'all. There's things that you can't see, with these magicians. This stuff is real. Listen, this stuff is real. A lot of these magicians who make things disappear and stuff, that's real. They using demonic powers. It is real, y'all. A lot of these magicians and stuff, it is real. I'm not going to go and name no names because I don't want nobody to go look at it. But these magicians are real. Using demonic powers. They used it back in Moses' day. When Moses cast his staff and it turned to a snake, the magicians did the same thing. But Moses' staff ate the staff of the magicians in those days. But it gets deep. So I just want to come on here and share a little story about that, y'all. And how, I want everybody to really, take God serious, take Jesus serious, because God needs all of you. Anybody who watch this, well, he don't need you, but God, he wants all his children to have spiritual gifts, because the things of this earth, it's okay to have things in earth, right? But don't let those things have you. There's nothing wrong with it. So I don't want people to focus their life just on getting money or trying to chase a car or trying to chase, the things of this world. It's nothing wrong with having things, y'all. It's a beautiful thing to have things. But if those things have you and you don't have God, that's why I can't stress it enough. God is more important than anything in this life. More important than your wife, more important than your children, more important than your mom, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your friends. God is more important than any human being in your life. The Apostle Paul also said this. He said, for those who have wives, be as if they didn't. The time is short. Time is very short, you guys. But we don't see time how God see time. A thousand years is short time to God. And you got to think about it. Us as humans, our average death rate is 70 years old. That's our average death rate as humans, 70 years. That's the average death rate. Time is short. I look back on my life and I see how time is flying. Time is going by quick. It's flying. Time is flying. And one thing about young people don't think about death. They don't think about death. You know, the Bible says the fool only think about having a good time. And that was me at one point. And like I always say, y'all, I'm 23, finna be 24. I'm young. I was once like that, a fool. Thought about having a good time, partying. The Bible says the fool only thinks about having a good time. They don't think about death. The great King Solomon says it's better to be at funerals. It's better to be at funerals to think about death, to think about how you really lived your life. Because the awards and the things that you can achieve, if it wasn't for God, your awards and the people is all in vain. Your life was in vain. To hell you going. But that's all I really wanted to say. To come on here and say I could go on for hours. I could preach to y'all for hours and hours nonstop. Because that's what I was called to do. It's something inside of me. It's not me. I promise you, it's not me doing this. It's the voice of God that's doing it in me. It's not me doing it. And y'all got to understand, God uses anything. God can use whatever he wants to use for his own will. And that's a whole nother video for another day. I could preach on that. Who God uses or who he don't use. You don't have to be a saint for God to use you. You don't have to be a saint. God uses the demons, y'all. God uses these fallen demons and he uses these fallen angels for his own will. So, but in order to get to heaven, you got to be holy. You got to live like him. You got to be holy, right? But I love you guys. Like I always say, I love you guys, man. With a godly love. It's not even a human love. I love you guys so much. I love you to tell you the truth. Because if you truly love someone, you're going to tell them the truth. You're not going to lie or make them feel good about themselves. I'd rather you tell me the truth and hurt my feelings than lie to me and make me feel good, right? So I love you guys. You guys share the video. You guys, pray. You guys fast. You guys really stay in the faith, right? And don't let these natural earthly things take over your life. These things are only for a short time, a short period of time, y'all. Think about, for the ones that's in their 20s like me. How quick time flies, y'all. How quick it flies. So I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.